Hello and welcome. I'm Zilla, and this is my Twitch channel, my stream, where I play video games with ancient studies content and talk about it, ancient gaming. You can also find all of my recordings and more on my YouTube channel, Zilla's Athenaeum. Links below and on the frame. So this is part 12 of my playthrough of Okami, a video game about ancient Japan. I mean, it's kind of timeless Japan. I was actually chatting with my colleague, Adam from Ludo History, and I were hanging out, and he mentioned that he's been trying to go through, different eras of Japan, and I kind of think of like the capital and stuff in this game as very Heian. And he's like, no, I kind of use that for ancient Japan, for the very early stuff, because this game does have a lot of pieces of, Jomon and Yayoi, like the oldest periods of Japanese history that we have anything notable for, the sort of semi-legendary stuff. And of course, this game is about Amaterasu, the sort of fundamental Shinto goddess, the leader of the pantheon and the ruler of the sun. Um, so I don't know. There've got to be Heian era games out there, haven't there? Like you would think there'd be a ton of them. Heian era is, I mean, if nothing else, it produced some of what we think of as the first novels. Um, I have some issues with that designation. I think I've talked about it before, but I do love the works of Murasaki Shikibu and Sei Shonagon, the Tale of Genji and the Pillow Book, respectively. They've really stuck around and formed a significant part of our understanding. Um, and granted, that's all about court life, but you know, uh, you'd think there would at least be some indie games about Heian court era stuff. So if you know anything about Heian Jidai based games, let me know. Send me a comment. And whether or not you've heard of any Heian era games, welcome. Pleased to have you. If you're here live, please join in the chat. Love to see it. Um, so the way that I do this, I'm gonna ask you, if you don't want to be spoiled for this game, do please go watch the earlier parts on my YouTube channel. They're all there. This is part 12, so we're about a third of the way through the game. Um, and if you don't mind being spoiled, I'm going to give you a little summary, and then we're just going to jump back in. So, here we go. If you need to go, I understand. Um, so we are Amaterasu, the great sun goddess, in a punny form as a white wolf, Okami, meaning both great god and wolf. And we are inside of a mythic cycle. 100 years ago, a great demon, an eight-headed serpent named Orochi, plagued the land and was slain by the great hero Nagi, um, and sealed away with the Tsukuyomi, the moon sword. Um, that sword has been lifted, and so Orochi's spirit has come out to curse the land while he vies to be reborn, and many spirits have come out of the woodworks to wreak havoc upon the land of Nippon, an old name for Japan. Not really old, just alternate name for Japan. Um, so we have made our way through several areas. Right now we are in the Sa Sanctuary, Sa being kind of noise of, ah, like when you sit in a hot spring. um, which is run by a little Yakuza style family of sparrow people. So some kind of yokai. And we're really kind of finished with this area, so I suspect that our next task will lie outside its borders. We probably need to make our way to the next of the canine warriors we are assembling for Fusehime, Princess Fuse, the last remaining hereditary priestess of the Shrine of Winds at Kusa Village, or Grass Village, where there is an evil spirit named Red Helm that we need to fight. There are 8 canine warriors named after 8 virtues, and we just found one of them at Sasa Sanctuary. We had already returned 5 of them, so there are 2 left to find somewhere. I suspect that's our next task. So, on with the show. Hi, Imaginary Fae! Thank you so much for rating. Welcome, all of Imaginary Fae's fans. I hope you enjoy. So we are just getting started for the day. We have just finished with this beautiful hot springs area. I do like it here. Boy, I miss hot springs. Okay. Ooh. Running straight into the wall as I try to check chat. Party parrot. All right. I mean, we just had some hot spring sparrows, so why not party ferrets, right? Party parrots, right? Okay, so what's up with that? Nothing we can do about that yet, but it is a lovely, what would you call that? It's not a triptych, it's a quadruped. Quadruped? Oh. So we have gotten some new powers. We might want to look around and see what we can do with that. Here is the horrible Cutter household. But we have dealt with them. Oh, we have some kind of a magic spring here. Let's see where this takes us. So, our newest power is the ability to make these magical water spouts that take us places we weren't otherwise able to get. Sometimes they just give us a little lucky clover. I have noticed that Japan, much like the US, honestly, probably everywhere, has some degree of this, really does enjoy taking... Ooh, too far. Oh dear. Does enjoy taking little bits of lore from other cultures. Like the lucky 4-leaf clover. One thing I really found amusing while I was living there was the fascination with, like, Christian holidays as sort of a an excuse to be silly or to get dressed up, which I love, because I was not raised Christian. I'm not Christian. And so, it's always been sort of a source of annoyance for me that Christian is just the default here in the US. But then in Japan, they're like, what is this exotic thing you call Christmas? Ooh, sparrows. Let's feed some sparrows. We must always feed the animals. Actually, don't in real life. Just always feed the animals. This can be really bad for them. But giving seeds to birds is fine, even if sparrows in particular are jerks. My housemate is in a long-term battle with our local sparrows. He wants to feed the other birds. Thank you very much. And this poor guy, he still has not figured out the way into Sasa Sanctuary. The trick is you have to go through the gate. So this game is Okami. It is... Oh, we have horses. Hello, horsies. I must feed the horsies. What do you like? You probably like herbs, right? Yeah, so this is Okami. It is a Japanese game based on Japanese folklore and Shinto mythology. We are playing as Amaterasu, which is the name of the head of the Japanese Shinto pantheon, the goddess of the sun. You can see we've got a fiery mirror as our weapon. It sort of hovers over our back. That's the mirror of the sun. That's actually part of the imperial Japanese regalia. And I was saying earlier that Okami is great because it's a pun. It both means great god and wolf, depending on how you write it. Japanese jokes are often puns. They're not considered low like they sometimes are in English, because the Japanese set of available syllables and available sounds is so limited. Ooh, we haven't tackled this gate. I guess I gotta go fight some things. Dead fish. Die. Die again. Get off me! Oh, one of you. Yeah. Taiko drum. Where are you? There you are. There we go. So long, Taiko monkey. And the extra great news for those of you who are interested in this sort of game is they just recently announced that an Okami sequel is in the works. We know almost nothing about it, but sweet. Hey, let's feed some deer. Oh yeah. So the thing is that, like, in Japanese, you have to have a lot of homophones or near homophones in order, because there's just only so many syllables that you can make. This is true for a lot of languages with strict syllabaries. So, like, the syllabary of Japan, or the alphabet equivalent, it goes a I U E O, kaki ku keko, mami mu memo, and there's just only so many syllables. So you got to make these words that will sound like each other, and so they rely a lot on accent and stuff for that. Like, sake is the drink, and sake is salmon. Unless you're in Osaka, in which case it's reversed, because everywhere's got to have that place, right? Let's see. So many pieces of literature, many anime have a really tough time conveying this, because in English there's just not quite that quality. This is one of the fun things about translation is you really have to decide how you're going to go about translating difficult things. I've mostly worked with ancient languages for this purpose. I've done a lot of Greek and Latin. I have done my undergrad thesis was actually Japanese translation. Um, so it's not like I'm completely. Oh, what's this? I don't remember going up here. I might have. We'll see. Um, but it's always it's always a little bit tricky because there's always going to be something that doesn't quite translate. Uh, what did we want up here for? I don't really know. Maybe I've already been here. Yeah, yeah, that's exactly right, Johnny One Take. That's why fan subs have a lot of parentheticals. Um, there's actually. Oh, hello. I don't think we can just walk on this. No, there's probably some power we'll get later on that will let us do that. Um, let's see. I'm gonna check the map. Where even am I? Oh, we have a lot of new stuff to go over. So there's actually one anime that I have seen that did a really astonishingly good job at this. If you've ever seen Super Daikon Brothers, I think it's in Japanese like Super Daikon Kyodai or something like that. They actually did a fantastic job of making jokes that work in English that reflect the spirit of the Japanese joke that is there without being, chained to it one for one. And that's something you always have to balance, right? In translation, because you have to like figure out, okay, am I translating this to be, literally accurate to what was said, or am I translating this for, for tone, for humor, for atmosphere, impact? And there's just some things that you will never be able to move over one for one. When you're talking about Japanese, those homophones or close homophones are one of the biggest things. If you're talking about like Greek and Latin, a lot of times what doesn't translate is actually the rhythm of things because they're very particular about the patterning of syllables, and the rhythms that they have in those languages are not the same as English tends to do. Da 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 da, iambic pentameter. I think I was one da da short, but you know what I mean. But there's a lot more artistry to it in Greek and Latin because they're length based, like how long you say the vowel for, rather than stress based. Um, okay. Apparently we hadn't talked about Princess Fuse's list. So like when people translate it, like if you look at a lot of the popular translations of the Iliad or the Odyssey, you'll see that they're translated into iambic pentameter to try and get that feel of poetic, background, poetry, art. And that's not always good. Oftentimes you lose a lot of the sense from that. We've got some new monsters we encountered. The crow tengu. That doesn't look like a crow. It looks like a crane. What are you talking about? The tengu are, thank you, Imaginary Fae. There's a lot to learn about language, and translation is it's genuinely one of the things that makes my life much better. Your partner's a big word and language person, though. Oh yeah, we'll bring them on. I'd love to talk to them. So Tengu are traditional Japanese spirit. They're usually thought of as like crow-headed people, and they're fierce warriors. So it's not surprising that we have, you know, this crow tengu. I guess they're just making it with an extra long neck for the you know, the yokai vibes, the evil spirit vibes. Um, this one is so it fights both with a samurai sword, a katana, and with fans. Fans as a weapon, like steel-bladed fans, are actually a real weapon. I do actually own one. I love them a lot. There are some that have blades on the edge, and there are some that are just heavy. I have a heavy one. You don't throw those. So that's that guy. What else have we got? Oh, we have an entry for our canine warrior. Geet is the virtue of duty. So this is sort of translating. There's this classic set of 8 virtues that you hear about in a lot of Japanese stuff. And here's Te. Te stands for brotherhood. That's not gendered in Japanese. Well, it will definitely be more often applied to men because misogyny is definitely there. The language itself is not as gendered as English. You often will not specify the gender of a person, and a lot of names don't actually have a gender assigned to them. Some do, some don't. But like this idea of brotherhood is not a gendered concept in Japanese. Did they give us the other? No, just the ones that fought us. Okay. We've got a new animal in here. We've got Nis. So Japanese also doesn't, unless you're like getting into like scientific naming conventions, doesn't distinguish between mouse and rat. They're all called nezumi. And they are generally, you know, I don't think I've ever seen a Japanese person keep a rodent as a pet. That doesn't mean they don't. My experience is necessarily limited. But it's kind of like, you know, unless we're forced to, we don't really talk about polar bears and grizzly bears and sun bears and all that as different, unless we're being very specific, like we just use bear. So, you know, that's the idea. Oh, and we got one of these little accessories, a bullhorn. Like I said, this is somewhat exotic depending on the time period in Japan, just because cows are not native. There's not a lot of grazing space for them. They mostly, even now, live on the northern island of Hokkaido where there's a bigger open space. Okay, so I was coming in here to look at the map. So this is where we are now. And we've got a bead on the next to canine warriors. Oh yes, it is quite late in Berlin. Thank you, Imaginary Fave, for coming on. It's lovely to see you and all your folks. So we've got 2 more canine warriors. Probably one of them is Ume, our plum dog friend, and then one way up in Hana Valley, it looks like. I don't remember seeing a doggo up there, but that looks like our next task. So, let's head out. Okay, we're not headed to the city checkpoint. That's the wrong way. Kaku. There are owls native to Japan, for sure. Which way is this? To Kusa Village. No, we don't want to go to Kusa Village right now. Sagata Forest. This little doggo friend, our little Shiba Inu here, was not one of the canine warriors. Examine what now? Oh. Right. Oh, we've got some people over here. Actually, we should probably buy some stuff. Just stock up on some feed bags because we must befriend all of the animals. I don't think I need anything else. What about you folks? Oops, not what I meant to do. Okay, so our friend is excited to head to the city checkpoint and to the capital, but still gotta go to Kusa Village. And they're very worried about that Crimson Helm figure. You want a pinwheel? Okay, I can get you a pinwheel. The Tea Master is very excited that the curse zone has disappeared. Ah, this is what those moles had that I wanted. We beat them up when we first came into this area. Yeah, okay, I can help with this. Let's do some side questing. Now I just gotta remember where those moles were because the teacup respawned in their area. I don't think they were too far. Oh yeah, here we are. I wonder if I can actually see anything interesting about this teacup. Ah, well, welcome to daytime. It does look like it might be made of gold, which is unusual. It's also fairly large. Usually a teacup is either very small, you can hold it in one hand kind of like this, or it's a bowl shaped, depending on the kind of tea you're making. So if it's brewed tea, like with leaves and water, it'll be the smaller cups and it'll be poured from a little flask or a teapot. And if it's made from the powder, if you've ever seen the powdered green tea, that you pour some powder into water and then you use a whisk to foam it up, then it'll be a full-size bowl. Full size. It'll be a larger bowl so that you can actually whisk it properly. I have some. It's delicious. I haven't made it in a long time, but it's so cute. It has a little whisk and I love it. Yes, I did snatch it back from these mischievous moles. It sounds like they just wanted some attention. Golden mushroom? It's, strange. But sure, thanks. I'm sure it will come in handy. I mean, it's a video game. if I get an object, it's sure to come in handy. Okay, so I do need to head up to Kusa Village to get that pinwheel. Bork. But we still haven't met the cat spirit yet. Wonder when I'll get that power. It's gotta be around here somewhere. Just check the sign. Yes, indeed. That says Kusa Village. Met some monkeys. Yeah, one other interesting effect about the syllabary is they're very sensitive to vowel changes, and so things that sound very alike to an English speaker will not sound at all alike to a Japanese speaker. Like like there's an example from when I was in Japan. One of my fellow studiers abroad had a bit of the IE merger that you get sometimes, especially in the central US. So like instead of milk, he'd often say milk. And this would translate into Japanese very oddly. Like there is a Japanese word for milk, you know, yunyu. Which more or less cow juice. But more often you'll just hear them call it miruku. You know, just transliterating it sound for sound. So he was looking for the milk in a grocery store, and he asked where was the meruku. And they were like, meruku? Meruku? What is milk? You know? So he finally had to like adjust his accent and say miruku before it went through. But it goes the other way too, because, you know, to us the words kusa and kuso sound very, very similar. Don't get them mixed up. Kusa is grass. Kuso is shit. If you're familiar with gaming conventions, that's what kusoge means. It's shit game. Well, we've got a pinwheel now, apparently. I don't even have to carry it in my mouth. That's nice. Yeah, this can get you in a lot of trouble. I had also heard a story. I don't know why the ones about cursing always stick in my head, but it's very funny to me. Of some poor man who mixed up the words kutsu, meaning shoes, and ketsu, meaning ass. Tried to compliment some girl on her shoes and got smacked. Oh dear. But yeah, transliteration, now that I'm talking about it, when you transliterate things from languages where you can have more, because Japanese syllables always end in a vowel. So you can't string consonants together the way you can in a lot of other languages. Even Korean has a lot more a lot more consonant combinations than Japanese. They're not related, by the way, but they do sound remarkably similar. I don't know how that works, but I'm not the only person to have noticed it. um, yes, please take this pinwheel. I worry about your relationship with your wife, though. If you're that scared of her. Oh, that's just a bush. So typically in Japanese, if you try to transliterate an English word that has a bunch of consonants strung together, you're gonna have, you're gonna have some extra vowel sounds in there. Mostly it'll be oo. Because that's the one that is sort of easiest to drop. So, like I was talking about kusoge, that's actually short for kusogemu, game. And you'll hear gemu, or gem. You hear that drop in the background. What up, kid? Yep, we're looking for ume. He did not fall in the deep abyss. A legendary fish called the Whopper. Swallowed the moon reflecting on the Whopper's surface. You don't think it swallowed ume too? That lady who's visiting Hitoshio Spring. I don't remember Hitoshio Spring. Not that I remember where we're going anyway. Let's just run around and see what there is to see. Deer we've already met. Some monsters. Birds we've already met. That's the ruins. That's the Hunter's Lodge. It's bunnies. Is there a reason you want to go up there? Oh, I got a fancy thing. But yeah, so Japanese transliteration of foreign words can be very surprising. My sort of go-to for thinking about it is I once was asked by a Japanese person if I was Nabasu. I was like, Nabasu? What is Nabasu? And like they had to say it 3 or 4 times before I thought, nervous? And they were like, yeah, Nabasu. Language is fun and very weird. What is this here? Can't deal with that yet. We have a sleepy bear up here. Bonk. Alright, let's check the map again. Zoom in? Can't zoom in. us into another of these fights. Come on, little Tycho guy. Damn it, I missed. Come here, Tycho imp. Gotcha. Didn't do so well on time that time. That's alright. So, what's that? Oh, it's a place we can just dig, it looks like. Just a chest waiting for us. Alright. Got a dragonfly bead. Again. There's shamisen strings. Oops. Is that it? That's it. All right. Oh, I think I wanted to douse some things in here with water. Yeah. Perfect. Snacks. Ooh, beads. And we have one of our magic water spouts. Leading us where exactly? Oh. That didn't work. Where exactly is that? Oh, it's going down. It's not supposed to go down. I was using that. So it looked like there was a chest up there, but I don't know how to get to it. Huh. I'll try one more time. If I don't see it, I'll move on. Yeah. Hi, Aurora Terrorbird. Bye, Aurora Terrorbird. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you enjoyed the show. Okay. Now I can see a little bit better anyway. Oh. Alright. Which direction? No, I don't know how to get up there. We'll just do that another time. So the marker was out here somewhere. Oops. Didn't mean to jump actually into the water. But there we are. This is the hunter's house, right? Yeah. Just some meat hanging around. Meats for eats. Okay. Bunnies I've fed. This is the deep abyss. And this is where the marker says. Well, I am not sure what it wants me to do. I guess I could go back and get a vision. That was the lady in the cave, right? Maybe that's the lady that the kid wanted me to talk to anyway. I'm not sure. Hello again, seer lady. Yeah, I can pay 500 yen. The Bone Oracle says... Okay. Aid a troubled girl deep in the forest. Okay, so I am looking for Hitoshio Springs somewhere in the forest. I just don't remember where. Deep in the forest, you say? Hey, is that a... Oh, can't get my camera right. Need to be able to see both myself and the thing. Okay. That wasn't enough. There we go. Stray bead! Okay, so... Person there. Person there. And there was a person over this way. Maybe that's where I'm headed. Where are you? Excuse me, dear. This is just a... just a hole. So, where did I see that other person? I did see a third person. Not here. There's not much else to go by. any of those places. Hmm. Well, it'd be nice if I remembered where this place was, but looks like I'm gonna have to keep looking. The only direction that I really haven't gone is past that bear. Maybe there was a spring back there. Oh no, this is back to Agata. Isn't it? Well. Now I'm real confused. Oh, this is the direction of Hitoshio. Okay. So yes, the signs do actually visibly have writing on them. I can read some of it. Okay, here we are. Hey! That's a familiar face. This is Kushi, the sake brewer from Kamiki Village, the village of the gods. The village of the god tree. She's looking for sweet, pure water, it looks like. She calls us snowy, probably Yuki in Japanese. So, the annual Kamiki Festival is being talked about again. So, getting pure water for the holy sake we offer to the gods. It's supposed to have divine powers. That way we can make the 8 purification sake. So, much like the 8 virtues, the 8 canine warriors, and the 8 heads of Orochi. The sacred drink of legend. That's not surprising. The legend of Nagi and Shiranui, the original destruction of Orochi. So they used sake to get the heads drunk so that they could defeat it. Apparently Kushi is not exactly the brightest. It's not that surprising. They made her out to be the useless pretty girl. Thanks, Isun. You're a real misogynist treasure. We're gonna have to keep doing that, it looks like. We filled the barrel with holy spring water. But now who's gonna move it? Waka? Oh, no. Time for a fight. Why are we just letting the imp get closer to her? Well, I guess the holy spring water is in fact holy. It repelled the imp. That's good to know. Oh, and Susanoo is actually doing something useful for once. Oh, I've mentioned in other streams those exaggerated theatrical hand gestures that they make to show great emotion, like they're on a stage. That is a lot of demons. It's a bit of a useless git. I'm gonna have to blast them. Because if I don't, I'll have to start over. Some little timing events using our divine brush powers. Not really. I love that. Amaterasu's just like, no, you stop talking now. You go in my mouth. Enjoy the wolf breath. And look at her just like swaying with her hands behind her back like a little kid. Battle with the bear. I knocked it off a ball it was sleeping on top of. Defiles your sword. Rude. Then stop carrying that crappy sword and get a real one. Isun did not, in fact, enjoy wolf breath. No, he said a lot of words. I don't know what you're talking about, Gushi. He probably would have been very useful carrying the barrel. I'm sure you cannot. What now? Now is it Waka? Pokari? Oh boy. Okay, so we're gonna get to find Ume. Alright. Oh wow, we can see that the Tsuta Ruins Dogu from here. That's pretty cool. Oh hey. Oh. That's not a... okay. Ah. No, this isn't where I want to be. Oh, let's go find Ume. Oh. First we gotta fight. No matter. Yawn. Hi, Freya. Okay, so headed that direction. I should make some lily pads. That was not close enough to help. What is it now? There's the Whopper with Ume in its mouth. Amaterasu on her back, but roll. We're gonna have to go fishing again. Alright, so... guess we gotta go fishing. I am not psyched. Is the fishing anything like fishing in Stardew Valley? In that it is a Japanese fishing minigame. We gotta draw a line to one of the fish, and then we pull against it, but we gotta stay in the green. Square. Not terribly good at it. There's a lot of things to keep track of. What do you mean I gotta help out a little here? Thought I was helping. Oh. Oh, I gotta draw it when it's in the air. God, what Come closer, fishy. This isn't even the fish I want. Okay, so that is how we fish. Would the addition of celestial brush powers improve Stardew Valley? No, I would say it would not. It's also not the Whopper. But I caught a goby. There are goby in Stardew Valley now. The newest update. Okay, here we are. This looks like the Whopper. Alright, now I gotta do this. Probably with even more difficulty appended, we'll see. A circle. So, I don't know if that was just not enough or if we have to do this multiple times because it's the Whopper. I guess we got it. We caught the Whopper! Looks like it's a giant catfish of some kind with those whiskers. If you notice, it looks a lot like the Eastern depictions of dragons. They often have those catfish whiskers. But where's the dog? Come on, Ume. Are you that fond of fish spit? Oh. Ooh, are we about to get a new brush power? That'd be pretty spiffy. What have we got today? Oh, the moon rabbit. So instead of a man in the moon... Oh. I missed one. Okay. There we go. Japanese mythology has a rabbit in the moon who makes mochi with a giant mallet. Like so. Mochi being water and rice flour pounded until it makes a nice soft chewy substance. I love mochi. Mochi are great. Yumigami, the moon god. fish swallowed the moon's reflection, and with it, the hiding moon rabbit. So what power does the moon rabbit give us? We can summon the sun. Can we now summon the moon? The crescent brush technique summons the moon. Alright. So, there you are. Sure, Isun, you knew that all along. I mean, ume plum is delicious. Umeboshi, salted pickled plum, it's an acquired taste. Are we gonna have to fight ume now? There has been a joke about how Amaterasu has an aversion to taking baths. Although really, I mean, Amaterasu does lose her power when she's in water. But it's Isun who talks constantly about not liking baths. Guess we gotta fight Ume now. Ume's real name is Jin. Yeah. Why you gotta insult the dog, man? That's just rude. Back paw twitching. I guess I didn't do too bad. Appears we are acquiring a second canine orb. I don't know why, but sure. Jin. Justice. Alright. Well, that's one more canine warrior taken care of. One left to go. Let's see. Guess I gotta fight those first. Not know how to get that guy off my back as he gets old. Oh well. Wait, this way is... Oh, that's Hitoshio. Agata Forest was that way. Oh my. They really are getting more annoying to deal with, aren't they? Be gone. I'm not even getting any marked monsters. Alright, Mr. Tycho. Headed back to Shinshu. I was hoping for a save spot near there, but didn't look like there was one. So we'll just make do. It's surprisingly intuitive once you get the hang of it using the Divine Brush, but it's a lot of buttons in motion. Here we are, back in Shinshu Field. Sure, there were a number of things I meant to do around here. Number one thing that I want is to find a safe spot. I think it's gonna be back over here. Nope, that's the actual exit. Ah, there we are. See it. Alright. That is a great place for us to stop for the day. Thank you so much for joining me. It's been a pleasure. And I expect that I will see you next week. Same bat time, same bat place. I hope that you have had as much fun as I have with this one. And hey, keep learning, friends.